Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jade Maple, and I thought I'd come on today and do a little video here where we talked about dreams. Now I've got some notes here in front of me, so if you see me look down, that's why. But most of us dream. Now whether we remember or not is another thing. And there are ways you can kind of help yourself to remember too. There's lots of ideas out there. But what do dreams mean? And So the best way to go about this is to give you like a scenario and then go from there. Excuse my throat. So imagine this: you're dreaming, you're enjoying a deep, restful sleep when you suddenly startle awake. However, it's not from noise outside, but a vivid dream. Okay, and this can happen. I've had this happen myself. It says it's not necessarily out of the ordinary, but you might wonder why your dreams are so realistic. And what does it mean when you dream about someone? What do falling dreams mean? What about reoccurring dreams? Okay. And there's a lot to go over. Dreams are a big part of our world. They really are. Okay, so psychologists such as Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung developed theories to explain what dreams mean. Freud thought dreams are represented content, ideas, or themes. Jung's theory came out of Freud's and has the idea that it's an idea of collective unconscious. It's something that you're carrying from your ancestors, supposedly. Okay, but from a medical perspective, interpretation is still a mystery, meaning they don't know. They can guess, but their guess may not be spot on for you. Their guess is what they've experienced, not what you've experienced. It says there's no real consistent, scientifically proven theory linking specific content back to what a dream is or what it means. So, what are dreams? Okay, dreams themselves are a little less mysterious. Dreams are mental imagery or activity that occurs when you sleep. You can dream at any stage of sleep, but your most vivid dreams typically occur in rapid eye movement sleep or REM sleep. That is a period of sleep when your brain is highly active, your eyes move rapidly behind your closed eyes, and you have a temporary loss of muscle tone. Okay, now I found that interesting because when we're awake during the day, obviously we have muscle tone and we're using it. But when we sleep, we have a temporary loss of it. Okay, now they go on to state here that REM sleep, we have less autonomic stability. Our heart rate increases. We don't have the kind of steady, calm respiration that we do during other stages of non REM sleep. Researchers find it challenging to analyze dreams because we often don't remember them. Which is true. A lot of people don't remember their dream. You dream, but you don't remember what they're about. Like as soon as you wake up, they're gone. And I know that happens too because I've had it happen. Now, why do we dream though? So there's lots of ideas about why we dream. Some of the working theories as to why we dream are you dream more in your REM sleep. Additionally, dreaming during this stage is associated with consolidation of memories. That dreaming may represent important cognitive functioning and brain activity that occurs when we're dreaming is similar to the memory processing brain activity that we experience when we're awake. So just because you're awake and something happens doesn't mean that once you quit thinking about it for the day, that it just goes away. Perhaps it will return in a dream. Now, it says when you're experiencing more stress or anxiety, you tend to dream more as well. Types of dreams you have also change. It says that nightmares or stressful dreams, for example, about being chased or being frightened or are more common when you're stressed. Our dreams might help us process and manage our emotions. So just because, okay, say like you're stressed out, something really bad happened at work, and it totally stressed you out, and you go home and you put it behind you. You're making dinner, you're taking care of the kids, you're taking care of the hubby, you're taking care of the house. But when you go to bed that night, and your mind is still working, okay, So when you go to bed that night, what may happen is that whole stressful situation may play out again in a dream or a nightmare based on, which side of the coin it decides to roll with. So that's something that can happen to anyone and everyone. It says nightmares and stressful dreams about being chased and stuff happen more often when we're stressed. So there you go. If you're stressing, your nightmares tend to be a little bit more realistic like and feel to the extent they might panic you. There seems to be more cultural influence on dreams. For example, the same type of dream might be more common in a certain area of the world. Like maybe in Africa, they have one type of dream, okay? Because of how the land is where they live, how many are together, like maybe a tribe of folks in Africa. Or if you go to Germany, maybe in a certain town, the whole town has a type of dream. Now, each dream might be slightly different, but it's geared around the same thing. Okay, so what do dreams mean? Determining what dreams mean is a big question, one that doctors, researchers, and scientists are still trying to answer. They have no answers for this. Dream interpretation is subjective to the person. So just like if you and I both had the same dream the same night, and it's exactly the same, my interpretation of that dream could be one thing, while your interpretation of that dream could be something totally different. Doesn't mean either one of us is wrong. It's just where we're at in our life, what we've been through, and how we can rationalize what we've dreamt. Okay, it says the meaning that you ascribe to the dream is going to be much more meaningful than anything someone else can. So, like, me putting meaning to my dream is more meaningful than if someone else tries to analyze my dream. So, in that aspect, yes, I do agree. Because you know yourself better than most other people. Think about it. Okay, although experiences you have in a dream might be based on real life events, that doesn't mean your dreams are always realistic. Some can be very, very just your mind kind of letting go. That it means nothing really, it's just your mind kind of taking a minute to breathe, so to speak. However, sometimes the strangest dreams have logical explanations. So, okay, you're having a dream that you're getting chased by a snake, but yet it's never happened to you in real life. But what that could mean, because if you take the meaning of the snake, okay, the meaning of the snake can be change, it can be leading you a different path, it could be showing you the way that you've missed when you were awake. I mean, there's lots of different dream things that deal with snakes. So what you have to do then is think, okay, what has gone on? What's going on with me personally? Am I choosing to go a new path? Am I starting a new job? Did I get a new home? Anything like that. And then you have to work from there out. Okay, so it says, what causes nightmares? Nightmares can be terrifying and have lingering effects even when you're awake. With nightmares, especially reoccurring nightmares, it can feel like you're playing out a story. Okay, so talking about nightmares that you've seen and can bring about unexpected consequences. Now, they have no real paperwork on what causes them. I mean, there can be things that they associate with them. Like, for example, nightmares are commonly associated with a variety of other conditions and events, such as PTSD. For someone living with post-traumatic stress disorder, nightmares are often a component of re-experiencing or reliving the trauma. Okay. Alcohol. Overindulging a bit too much can exacerbate nightmares. Stress. Again, here we go, stress. They've mentioned this before. So high stress levels can lead to more dreams and nightmares. According to the doctor who studied these, this is likely because the stress is kicking the emotional processing that occurs during dreaming into overdrive. Psychological disorders such as depression and anxiety are associated more frequently with nightmares. Medication withdrawal can also cause nightmares, such as like going off of antidepressants. So in other words, you experience more REM sleep, which then makes it more likely that you're spending time where dreaming happens. Now, they're not saying they know, that each one of those things are what causes nightmares only. No. What they're saying is those can contribute to more nightmares. Okay? I mean, you could have a nightmare just because. All right? So those are just things that can contribute. That doesn't mean it's the only thing. And then there are darker sides of this, such as sleep disorders. It says, can sleep disorders affect dreaming? Yes, they can. There is something called nightmare disorder. For some people, nightmares are more than just a temporary scare. They have a sleep disorder called nightmare disorder. With nightmare disorder, you have these really distressing nightmares that are repetitive. They occur frequently. They wake you from sleep. You can't get back to sleep afterwards. You have a panic feeling upon awakening and take a while to reorient to where you are and what's going on. There is REM sleep behavior disorder. A sleep disorder called REM sleep behavior disorder can also cause abnormal dreaming. During REM sleep, your muscles are typically paralyzed, so you don't act out dreams. From an evolutionary standpoint, it happened because it was more protective for us not to be able to move while dreaming. People living with REM sleep behavior disorder, however, actually aren't paralyzed, meaning they can move in their sleep while dreaming. So unlike most of us who can't move, we're laying there, we're asleep, these people with this disorder can move. So it's something to think about. It says REM sleep behavior disorder can also foreshadow bigger health problems. So it's always good to go speak to a doctor. Is it normal not to dream? It says there is a rare condition called Charcot-Wilbrand syndrome, where people don't dream at all. This dream loss occurs following focal brain damage, typically like a stroke, that's specifically characterized by you losing the ability to mentally recall or revisualize images. Most people do dream, though you just don't recall them. So that doesn't mean like if you don't dream, don't freak out immediately and think, oh my goodness, something's wrong with me. No. We all dream for the most part. We just don't always remember them. And that's the body's way of releasing the stress that happened. Says at the end of the day, however, dream interpretation is still a big mystery yet to be solved. But if you're trying to puzzle out what your subconscious is trying to tell you, look to your day-to-day life for clues. So in other words, not all dreams are going to be this big, massive, chaotic idea of okay, the stress for a dream could be you just bought a new house, you moved in, and suddenly your water heater busts. That's a very stressful situation. Costs money to fix it. And that could cause you to then have a dream or a nightmare. That doesn't mean that you've gone crazy. It doesn't mean that you're, out of sync with anything. It could just simply mean, quite honestly, that you're stressed. So it's something to think about. And like they said, truly look at what's going on in your life before you seek out anything else, like books, doctors, because books don't have every answer. I mean, in all honesty, they don't. They can give you a guided look. They can tell you, oh, a snake represents, or a spider represents, or the sunshine over a mountain represents, but that may not be what it represents in your life. I mean, there are some people out there, like myself, who have a severe fear of snakes. So a snake in a dream to one person might be something, perfectly wonderful. But a snake in a dream to somebody else could be something terrifying. And it could be something as simple as a black snake. So what they're saying is basically look at yourself, look at what's going on in your life, and look at what has happened before you go going, okay, well, something's wrong with me. It says, so if you want more awareness, okay, about dreams, basically start a dream journal. Jot down what you remember. As soon as you wake up, boom, jot it down. Get it in that book. As many details as you can possibly remember. And then once you're awake and you've had a little bit of time for your brain to adjust to being awake, go back and look at it. Oh, please pardon me. And it says that, once again, much more meaning comes from you ascribing your dream than somebody else doing it. Because you know what's going on in your life, you know what's going on with your stress levels, you know if something bad happened the day before or something super exciting happened. Please pardon me, bye. Please pardon me. My allergies are kicking me today. But it says more relevant than dream interpretation. Sorry. Oh, geez. More relevant than dream interpretation books that list specific interpretations is what you yourself make out of the dream. Sorry. Wow. Oh. And there's plenty of sites out there where you can look up, okay, what does a spider mean in a dream? What does a snake mean? Please pardon me again. Oh, I'm so sorry. But basically what they're saying is, instead of... Bless me. Oh, please pardon me. Instead of freaking out immediately if you have a bad dream or scary dream or really realistic dream, look at what has happened in your particular life. Did something stressful happen? Did something happy happen? You know, what took place in the last couple days, to even as far back as a week, and see what you can pinpoint. On Monday, you went to the baker's to get your normal loaf of bread. They didn't have it. You had to buy a loaf of bread you don't normally buy, but you took it home and it tasted fine. So now you have a new brand of bread you want to get. That could be a good thing. It was a bad thing that turned into something good, but it was still a good thing in the end. Say on Tuesday, you went to your local candle shop to get your favorite candle. You're feeling totally stressed and you really needed this candle to relax, but they didn't have it. Instead, you bought one that had the same scents in it, a little smaller maybe. So it's similar, serves the same purpose, but it was still a little bit of an upset. Or maybe on Wednesday, you had a meeting with your boss and you were expecting to get chewed out and get in trouble for whatever. But instead, when he called you in, he was so impressed with your work lately that you got a raise. Okay, so that's a good thing. So your dream there could change. And that's what they're saying. Things in our everyday life can change how we dream. So before we freak out, before we get upset, before we go going, oh my gosh, my brain's broken, take a minute, sit down, have a cup of something you like to drink, coffee, tea, soda, even, I don't care. Sit down, have that cup, and think about what's happened in your life at that point. Give it a little bit of time, a little bit of thought. Let it sink in a minute. And I'll bet, without having a book on dream analysis, without going to a website, that you're going to be able to figure out why you had that certain dream. And that's basically what the doctors are saying, that, they don't have any concrete answers. They can give you guesses, but they don't have a concrete answer. The only time they can give you a semi concrete answer is if you suffer one of the types of issues that I mentioned, like the PTSD or, different things like that. Then they can give you a partial answer. But even then, they'll tell you, it's not concrete because every person experiences things differently. Two people could go to, we'll say, an autumn event. They're having a bonfire. And we'll say I go, and we'll say that my neighbor up the road goes. And I think the bonfire is magical and wonderful and brilliant and beautiful and just, everything good. So I might come home and have a wonderful dream about it. Perhaps my neighbor up the road is afraid of fire. So they go, the bonfire's lit, they start to panic, they see evil things, they see fear, they see, you know, things that cause them anguish. So then we leave from the festival, they come home, and maybe they have a nightmare about it, not a dream. Because fire scares them. Because they went through maybe something traumatic with fire at a younger time in their life. And that's what they're saying. There's no two people that have the same dream that react the same way, that feel the same way. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Everybody's going to see it differently because we react to it based on what we have learned, went through, and known in our lives. And my life is not the same as someone else's. So think about that. Like when you're dreaming, and like I said, a dream journal can be helpful. It really can. Um, Another thing that could help is maybe like a half hour to an hour before you lay down to go to sleep at night. Go off into a quiet room. Have the lights on or off, your choice. But don't have any electronics on, no music on. If you want to light a candle, light a candle. If you don't. And sit and meditate for that half hour to an hour before you go to sleep. And it can sometimes calm and relax the body enough to help you sleep better. Another thing is maybe if you like it and you're not allergic to it, have a cup of chamomile tea. I know it sounds crazy, but seriously, it helps relax. So there's tons of things like that that you could do to help calm yourself before sleeping and help give you a more restful sleep. And I'm always going to tell you to go more natural first than thinking of actual medicine. Um, I just believe that natural remedies are better for the body. And usually you don't have as much trouble getting them as you do prescription medicines. So, it's something for you to look at, something for you to think about. If you have ideas or if you, have thoughts or anything like that that you want to share about this, please do so in the drop down box there. This is my take and what I've read as far as dreams go. And I do keep a dream journal. Some nights I remember them, some nights I don't. I'm the same as most, I guess, in that regard. Now and then I'll remember. Most of the time I don't. So it may take me, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years to fill up a dream journal. But the ones I do remember, I am making sure I write down so that I can look at it and see, okay, what was happening and what might have caused it. And I'm doing that with the happy dreams. I'm doing it with the nightmares. Any kind of dream. So I know there are some people that say you can use certain crystals beside your bed to help dreams. Native Americans believe that if you use the proper dream catcher, that it would catch the bad dreams and none of those would filter through so that you would have peaceful rest and better dreams. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can look up and all kinds of things you can try. Like I said, before you think, oh my goodness, my brain is broken, do a little homework. You know, look at it from a life point of view. What has gone on in your life? What have you felt? Have you been stressed? Have you been happy? There's a lot of different things. And sometimes it's just the universe going, knock, knock. You're not doing this the right way. Here's the way. And they're pointing you at a path. So, take it into consideration. But anyway, I've rambled on. But this is, like I said, I've read a lot. I've been, obviously studying my dreams off and on for a while. So this is just my take. And if you have differences or ways that would help you sleep, ways that would help you dream easier, please leave them in the comments below. Again, remember, no negativity. I will delete it. I won't even let it sit because I do not want it. Negativity is a no. So, that being said, though, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe because obviously this is a new channel and it is still trying to grow. And I'm not going to be somebody who tells you, oh, well, if you're going to do the things I do on this channel, you only have to do it this way. No. No, 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 no. I am still learning. I am still very much what they would call a baby witch. Learning witchcraft and even the types of witchcraft. And, so I've got a long way to go. I'm not going to say I don't. I am a person who believes you can learn at any age. Whether you're 2, whether you're 22, or whether you're 202. So yeah, and if you want to come along on the journey with me, I'd love to have you with me. The more the merrier, you know, truly. And I'm always looking for more friends, especially friends who are, shall we say, a bit more open-minded. I live in a very closed-minded town, um, in the United States, and so having open-minded friends makes it easier. It does. Um, but I do appreciate everyone who watches. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking time out of your day. And I hope that everyone is having a beautiful, brilliant, wonderful day wherever you are. And that you get a chance to get at least a little bit of that sunlight on your face. Till next time, thank you so much. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye-bye.